Morning. All right, good morning. One of the things that you all know is that we talk about all kinds of topics in here, and they range from the extraordinarily serious and scholarly to more topical things. And today we're going to talk about food, actually. That's a good topic. There's a phrase that you may have heard. It actually emerged out of Napoleon's failed campaign in Russia, where he said that an army travels on its stomach. And that idea that, that you have to be well fed if you're going to perform. And I've talked to advisees and others about the ways in which, as a school, we really want you to take care of yourselves in terms of your nutrition. It's about being a peak performer and being, well fed and well rested every day, because this is a hard place. And one of the ways we've done that is try to have really good food. And of course, where does that come from? It comes from all kinds of sources. But what you'll hear about today is a place that I've seen 1,000 times. I've driven by this farm 1,000 times. It's an incredible place. And we're lucky enough that we've partnered with them, and they're going to talk a little bit about it. But the person who should really introduce Arethusa Farm is none other than our own chef, Chef Rev. Come on up.
Good morning. How we doing? I only have one question. What do we think about the milk this year? I'm very flattered, and I've also been by Arethusa. Actually, Mr. Thornfeld from the business office, we did a little tour not too long ago, and we tasted a lot of great stuff. And not only does the milk taste great, but I think you guys ought to know how it happens, how it all comes together. Not only that, because they're right in our backyard, literally 15 minutes up the road. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Aaron Hubbard and Terry Packard. I said Packard, so anyway. And they're going to talk to you all about Arethusa, and the best part of this today, too, when you come to lunch today, we're going to be sampling some of the other products that are produced at the farm as well, besides the great milk that we have here at Taft. So thank you so much.
Wow, very energetic for the morning. You must have had chocolate milk. Well, we brought more with us, so that's a great thing. I'm going to have Terry Packard, one of our farm managers, start out with this presentation, give you a little detail of what goes on at the farm and how we treat our ladies. So Terry, I'm going to have you take it over.
Okay, I have to apologize for my voice this morning, but I've spent 8 out of the last 9 days at the Big E with the cows for 2 different cow shows, so my allergies kicked in a little bit this morning. But thanks for having us, and we're very excited that you are excited about Arethusa Farm and the products. So, tell me how to
just press.
Okay, I'm not into this PowerPoint that much. I hope Aaron is.
I'm working on it. There we go.
How many of you have been there or been by the farm and know where we're located? Good. The farm is just outside of Litchfield and just south on Route 63, but the owners bought the farm in 1999, and they were trying to save the open farmland. They had a home across the road and really just wanted to save the property from development, but over time they decided that maybe they should continue having cattle there and continue as an operating farm. So they've been it's been an active dairy farm again for the last 10 years. We have Holsteins, Jerseys, and Brown Swiss. There are, right at the moment, I think about 230 head on the farm. That includes from calves all the way up through the milking cows. We have a few pictures on here if you've never been to the farm, but that's obviously one of the babies on the left. That's one of the Jerseys, the smaller brown cows. But our priority at Arethusa Farm is taking the best possible care of the cattle. And when you walk in, you see the sign that says, every cow in this barn is a lady, please treat her as such. And that's what we believe. Farming is not a 9-to-5 job. So our employees are very dedicated. They're up at 3 a.m. They're in the barns, all day, and we have someone in the barn even through the night. So there's a person there 24/7 watching after the cows, and they're the top priority. And the way that we care for them, I think you see that coming through in the products, which Aaron can talk about. But just to give you some basics about cows, the cows get milked twice a day. They get fed 3 times a day. They're outside on pasture right now, and any day that the weather is good, the cows are outside. Some of these other pictures you saw, some of the young stock, the heifers and calves. We try to have our heifers outside most all of the year. I mean, from
The
March.
teenagers.
Yeah,
The teenagers.
the ones they're like between 6 months and 24 months old. So they spend a lot of time outside, and it's it just, as we go through here, those are some of the brown Swiss. That's a new thing that one of the owners has taken an interest in, the brown Swiss. So we've added a few of those. They're a larger animal like the Holsteins, but they give really rich milk like the Jerseys. So the Jerseys are coming next. Here you go.
Yeah. They look like Bambis.
Yeah. I got to tell you a quick story, but Veronica, the cow up in the top right, Veronica is kind of the matriarch at the farm. She's one of probably the most famous Jersey cow in North America and possibly around the world. She's a household name as far as a show-winning cow, but then she has several daughters at the farm, and one of her daughters was grand champion at the Big E yesterday, so we had a big
We also call her Queen Veronica.
The queen.
She is the queen of the farm.
Yeah, she's 13 years old now, and if you ever come in for a Saturday visiting time, you'll definitely see her. She thinks everybody that comes there is there to see her. So that's a shot. That's our milking cow barn. So any cows that are producing milk that are lactating are housed in that barn. We can milk 80 cows right now. So you can see some of them are in larger pens on the left. The Jerseys live in the tie stalls there. They all have mattresses made out of shredded rubber tires in every pen. So, we try to have them outside. We try to get the exercise, but when they are inside, we're providing them with the most comfort that we can. The facilities are very clean, and that's key. That's the way we want to take care of the cows, but it also keeps a higher quality milk, lower bacteria levels in our milk, which leads to the good taste. There's another one. The babies are ahead.
Yeah.
But here comes Veronica again. Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
We're preparing now to go to our largest competition, which is called World Dairy Expo. It's in Madison, Wisconsin, and we will leave a week from tomorrow. Well, no, a week from today. We'll take 30 of the cows and heifers to Wisconsin on a big semi to compete in this show. So we're out there for 10 days. So you can follow us on our website or on the World Dairy Expo website and see how things go. But we're pretty excited about the cows that we have for this year, the competitions. And that's part of the other side of our business. We use that for marketing, and we sell embryos, we sell live cattle, we market our genetics around the world. And that was kind of the first part of the farm, which has now become a twofold thing with the dairy. So Erin, you were going to talk about the dairy?
The dairy. We're actually so encouraging of the farm for all that they do. These shows, the way they treat these cows, makes a world of difference in this end product that we give to you and we sell it all to our customers. It all starts with the cow. Terry had mentioned about milking. They are milked twice a day. Their health is the top priority at the farm, and we do treat every cow like a lady, and we treat our product as a very valuable commodity. It's really important that we are so lucky to be able to bring the milk directly over to our processing plant in Bantam. We're a unique dairy because we have the ability to milk the cows, store it in our refrigeration holding tanks, then we can pump it directly into our milk tanker truck, which then directly goes to the dairy. So there's no other contact, you're not getting anyone else's milk, and that's a rarity to find in any milk brand today. So we're very proud of that. The other part of all of that is the quality. We constantly test the milk, even though it's ours. We are federally and state regulated. They can walk in at any time. When the milk is in the holding tank at the farm, we test it there before it goes into the truck. All our seals and whatnot are completely sealed. When it gets to the dairy, it's tested again before it goes into our refrigeration holding tanks at the dairy. That's all for your benefit, for your health, any contamination, and everything is recorded and logged. So it's really important to understand that it's just not tubed here and tubed there. It's constantly being checked. Then we start out by, once it's in the dairy, we start to separate the milk, and we're separating the fats out. And that's when we make our decision of we're going to make 2%, 1% skim milk, the favorite chocolate milk, and I know it gets something. And you know, so it's really important that we're making it fresh. Those cows never have a day off from milking.
Yeah.
So that means
So the employers don't either.
The employees don't, but the processing plant doesn't either. Just because it's a holiday doesn't mean that we're not processing milk. So the milk that you're drinking here at the Taft school, it is being actually probably milk from the cow probably Sunday night, very late, or early Monday morning. It's in our Bantam processing plant. We are processing it and putting it in the 5-gallon bags for you. It's delivered that afternoon. Now talk about coming fresh from the cow. You can't beat that. And that's really important to us. And part of the great quality is what we call our gentle separation or pasteurization, and it's how we do our processing. Our milk is pasteurized by heating it to about 145 degrees for a long period of time. It's 30 minutes. Traditionally, milk is heated to about 185, and they give it a quick zap, or they ultra pasteurize it and get it up to over 200 degrees. And what happens is that kills off all the bacteria. We want to kill off all the bad bacteria, but we want to keep the good bacteria because that's the taste. And that's the difference in the taste that you taste every time you drink it. And that's where we came up with the line, which we did trademark finally, milk like it used to taste, because it is how it was made. It's just that it takes a little bit longer today. Then the milk is homogenized, so the cream won't separate from the milk. So it is pasteurized and homogenized. Gave you a couple pictures here to view the inside of the plant. If you ever come down to our dairy plant, we have a nice big glass window so you can see in. It's unusual to be able to see into a processing plant, but everything is spotless. That you'll see, it's glowing stainless steel. If you really like stainless steel, it's up your alley. A lot of it. Then we process the milk and it gets bottled into our wonderful, colorful line of products. And we're fortunate with our owners, they love color, so we broke tradition of whole milk. Our whole milk is green. What is normal whole milk?
Red. Yeah.
We like to be different. And there's always a benefit to that. People don't forget us. A couple of the other products that you may or may not be aware of, we also make a fantastic ice cream. I think it's fantastic. I have to stop eating it. But the best part is we make our own mix. And again, that's a unique process, is that we use our milk, our cream, we crack our own eggs, we add sugar, and that's our base, and egg yolks. And it's a very rare thing to have your own base, no artificial ingredients whatsoever, no binders, and then we put it into our ice cream machine, which basically spins it with the flavoring. We do our traditional flavors of chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, but then and coffee. And then we do our other flavors when we're there. And then it's hand-packed immediately. So it's always a big treat, the ice cream. We make an outstanding yogurt. And again, no artificial ingredients. It's just our cow's milk, culture, and then we do, again, a special technique. It's called cup incubation, meaning that we mix the culture in, we stir it up, we heat it, and we process it into the yogurt containers, seal it, and it goes into a special room called the incubation room, where it'll incubate overnight, get those cultures activated, and to set as a yogurt. So again, we're not adding pectin, we're not adding any fillers, so our yogurt tends to be a little thinner, and you're gonna sample some today. I brought a lot of maple and vanilla for you to try, and you'll notice that it's thinner. Again, we try to keep the flavoring simple as possible. We use a local pure maple syrup and a very high quality pure vanilla. And I can't wait to hear your remarks about those afterwards. And then the other newest product that we make at this time is cheese. The upstairs of our processing plant is what we call our cheese floor, where the milk is actually pumped upstairs. So it has an up and a down and a rinse cycles. So it's kind of amazing to see the plant with this.
More stainless steel.
More stainless steel upstairs. But we have a different color floor upstairs, so it makes it a little easier. Again, the milk is pasteurized, but it is not homogenized at this time. The curds are formed, we're adding cultures, we're cooking it, and then we're gonna get it into, we cut the curd. It's a little bit more of a process, and then it goes into molds, and depending on the type of cheese we're making, we have different molds. Usually the average wheel weighs about 22 pounds. Some of the smaller ones may weigh 18, but to give you an idea, of the size of the cheese wheels in our cheese room upstairs. The upper one is a brine tank. That's where we put the cheese afterwards, that the curds, we've set the molds overnight. We take them out of there and they soak in this salt water solution. And this brining adds a little flavor and it helps to preserve the cheese. Then once it has sat in the brine for the ideal time from the cheesemaker, who you'll see there, Chris Casiello, who's looking at those, then it goes off into our aging room, whether it's going to be waxed and we put our labels on it, and then it's aged for the appropriate time, ready for sale. And then just a closing end note here, I always like to stress upon in overall health in general, where you're getting your products from, local, you can't stress that enough. You look in your backyard. A single herd dairy, it's something that people are really striving to do now. It's not always cost effective, but there are ways to make it cost effective. But these are the qualities that bring the good food to you. And then freshness. You can't beat the freshness at Arethusa. That's our pride. It's like giving the top quality cows in a show ring. We want the top quality product on the shelf and to the students and anyone who eats our products. Quality is from head to toe. We're constantly monitoring the quality, again, from the farm. Terry, maybe you want to talk about the somatic cell count a little bit.
Yeah, there's a good explanation of it, but basically, somatic cell is the level of bacteria in your milk. So you can sell grade 1 milk at 200,000 cells per milliliter. We averaged, I just saw the last 3 weeks, our lowest one was 40,000.
Great.
2 weeks ago. We had one at 67,000, but it's so clean there, and the cows are taken care of and kept clean. They get their tails washed every day. There's new fresh straw underneath them twice a day. There's somebody in the barn all the time removing the manure, to put it bluntly. Keeping everything clean in that environment and dry leads to the lower bacteria counts, which then leads to a better taste, because the bacteria level in your milk, when it goes through the pasteurization process, that if you have a higher level of bacteria, you're going to get more of an off flavor and that aftertaste that nobody likes. Mm-hmm. So, it's all tied together. The way the cows are treated, the way their environment is, and the protocol that we use when we're milking. Everybody wears gloves. You know, just all those things add up to a low level of bacteria, which then adds up, you know, is the end product is a higher quality food, so.
And the taste.
Yeah.
And that's where we end with, we talked about the vat pasteurization, then the taste, and really it comes down to milk like it used to taste. And I think you've sampled that and you understand it, and I hope you'll carry that on in your thoughts down the line. And can't say thank you enough for having us here today. I don't know if, does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you? If anyone has any questions, otherwise you get to go on to another class, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you could stay after if you have questions, then I guess.
I think it's great that you're using local products, not just because they're from Arethusa Farm, but I think it's so important that you know where your food comes from and that
Yeah.
you understand the value of local food. So it's going to be very, very important for us.
All right. Great, I wasn't sure.